Hey guys, I'm gonna be playing NyQuil today. I like to look at the options every time. I'm gonna start with the no game mode. Oh, okay. Let's see. The judge. Victims have a little something in common. The motive seems clear, but which suspect could have done it? Balance. Case perfect for the first run. Angel of death. Random victims. Unknown motive. Weird case. Slightly more difficult than the others. The Sandman, the victims may feel random at first, but there's a connection, yet the motives might be hard to find. Dark and twisted case. Surprise, the game will randomly pick an unsolved investigation. And then random, it will randomly pick, no matter if solved or unsolved. Okay. Well, this is my first time, so I feel like I should do the judge, which is perfect for a first run, as it says. So, okay, difficulty. Money will be easy to get by, the investigation will be easier, every action will take less time for a chiller experience. The way it was designed, money will be tighter, the investigation will be harder to solve, every action will cost more time for a challenging experience. But the investigation will be easier. I think we're going for balance. Oh, I love that feeling when you're on a road trip and that's all you see when you look out your window. Especially when you're at Port Authority. Is that a dead body? Oh, there's someone behind you. Here. Sir, can you hear me? Or do I need to speak up? Okay, so we gotta... Okay, you're fine. Oh, it's a woman. Okay, she takes a deep breath. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach rolling up your throat. The judge, as the police call the killer, assaulted you. The bullet touched your liver and in most circumstances it would have been fatal. He chose to put you in an induce. Her voice becomes more distant, fades. You taste bile at the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they? I'm sorry? Did they catch the judge? No. Okay. He was dead before you even got out of his cab. The doctor is silent for a second, a very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. After all, you're the only one who survived the judge. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head, to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care he's the only witness. Another female voice joins in. A strong, authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make up what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in the hospital room, you never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later. Night 1.
Well, look, I've got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is.
You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack.
Are you listening to me?
You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror.
Sorry. I just want things to get back to normal, to clear my head, to stop thinking about it all.
He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head.
You know, I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know.
I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again.
When my mother died and left me the store, I could have sold it. I could have retired, gone back to the old country. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me to hire the guys from the neighborhood. And that's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me.
His hands flutter in the air.
Though none of them are any match for you.
He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious note.
Do you want me to go over everything again?
He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Right then. Well, first the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around you, you have to go pick them up.
He shrugs.
That's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. The other fares, you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then you drive.
He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. That's all.
When your shift is over, we do the numbers and...
His voice trails off as if searching for the right words.
And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. Oh, right. No overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours.
He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he's got into the cab.
Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're gonna do a good job. What's the matter?
Your boss keeps quiet for a while, as if he's hesitant to speak, and then...
I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer is still out there, and we think he's gonna come back. For you.
Okay.
We? Your colleagues. I do, too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost.
He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious.
You can count on me.
He scratches an invisible stain at the armrest.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
He smiles. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are miling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn a key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack. Despite it all. Alright. Okay. I don't know why some of them are black and some of them are white. This one, like, you can't even see his face. Okay. Somebody here. I guess we'll start with the closest one. Yeah, some are light gray, dark gray. Okay. I have no clue how to say that. Chauvet Privé? Montparnasse, please? Please forgive me if I'm butchering anything here. I guess we'll accept. You pull up to a local police station to pick up your next passenger. She comes out from under an archway, visibly frightened. She slips into the back seat of the cab and gives you her address near Montparnasse. I can't say it. Montparnasse? I feel like something's gonna be silent. Okay, look at her, she's scared. Okay, she just came from the police station, they just said, right? Okay. You glance at her in the rearview mirror and notice how she is dressed. Okay.
Everything alright, ma'am?
You start the cab. Your passenger eyes you intently, reluctant to speak. Yes. You can barely hear her. She points to the car radio. Could I listen to the radio? You nod yes.
Which station?
My wallet was stolen. Uh-oh. She pauses and fixes her eyes on you. You freeze. I have money for the fare.
Okay.
The passenger senses your surprise. I just wanted to tell you I could pay. She looks down. What kind of music? Excuse me?
The radio. What kind of music should I put on?
I feel the news might not... Maybe classical will calm her down?
Classical? The woman shakes her head. No. Could you turn to 89.4? You hold the button down until you get to the station. On 89. Oh, I thought I was reading as an announcer on 89. Okay. On 89.4, there's nothing but static. Are you sure that? A hint of a smile plays across her mouth. Faint, but a smile even so. She waits a second or two before answering. Can you hear it? You lean forward slightly, closer to the radio. Behind the sounds of electric sputtering, there's something else. A shifting sound. It sounds like... I'm gonna say a whale song? A whale? Oh, I got an achievement. Oh, because I got it right. Okay. Oh, a whale? Did I get it right? I don't know. I just got an achievement. I don't know. A strange smile flickers across her face. Yes. Yeah, I got it right. Now that you mention it, you're right. Her voice trails off. It's the frequency that causes it. It vibrates. It's constantly dancing about, pulled by an incredible force surrounding him. Most people listen to music, the news. As for me, when I work, I like to listen to isolated frequencies like these. They're broadcast, but no one hears them. They're proof that we exist. She smiles at you. You're getting close to the passenger's address now. Okay. What do you do for a living? You listen to frequencies. Yeah. And you listen to frequencies? Yes, I grew up with them. They help me fall asleep. She has adopted a warmer tone, more trusting too. I listened to them as a young girl. You're starting to hear a hint of accent in her voice. Okay. Every frequency has its own music. And every music has its own frequency. The client suddenly straightens up and points to the radio. It's beautiful. So incredibly beautiful. Listen. You listen. You only hear static at first. And then, little by little, like a distant figure, the music takes shape and slips softly into your ears. Beautiful, isn't it? To me, they were like ghosts, and that's why I studied science, later mathematics. I wanted to know why. Oh, here? You pull over. She gets the fare ready while you slowly turn up the radio. Beneath the layer of interference, someone is speaking, like the voice of a child. Thank you. You emerge from your trance and take the fare. Your passenger exits the cab and walks away without another word. You sit there, immersed in the sound of the radio a while longer. It has a soothing effect on you. You start the engine and drive away. Oh, we got a tip. Great, okay. I want to know why some of them are darker. Let me just click on... Wait, maybe I shouldn't. It's a shelter for homeless people. When it gets cold out, you bring Hervé here. Okay. They're calling me. Let me just keep looking first. Whoops. Oh, I guess I can't keep looking? I don't know. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat.
Having a good night?
Oh, it's her. Okay. For a second, you freeze. Okay. It's one of the cops working on Judge's case. Oh, okay. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there.
You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself that there's something off about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it, because I was sure you lied to us.
I'm gonna let her keep going. She has a cold sneer on her face.
I'm gonna be frank with you.
She leans over you.
I don't think you're the judge. Nah, I can't picture it. I just can't.
She squints like she's trying to make you out from far away.
Like you have gone to the extent of hurting yourself? Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch.
She stares at you.
But not enough of a stretch for my chief to keep going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I know better, I think he had a crush on you.
She smirks.
No. I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17.
An icy chill fills your gut.
And for murder, too.
You open your mouth, but nothing comes out.
Since you got out, you kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and your address. I checked. It's normal, you say. If they got word of your time served, no loan for your permit, no leads for your car, meaning no second chance at life.
Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. Okay.
I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me.
She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing.
My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So, I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit...
She makes a gagging noise.
Okay, you have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate. Ask questions. Dig around.
I've never done this.
She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up with a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman, you're just here to get me more information.
She rummages around her pocket for what seems like forever.
Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days, just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info.
She takes on that attic for a terroristic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time.
Don't get caught. Don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me, you know you've done time? Does she know you've done time? Sorry. You shake her head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag, you cover your tracks so well.
I did what I could.
Yeah, if you say so. She sighs in a tired, exaggerated way. Don't try to mess with me, man. If things don't go well, I'll turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every a-hole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched and will be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with that judge's trial underway? You sigh. You know what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually.
Oh. Oh. Are we talking about the brother or the judge? I think this is the judge. This is the brother. Okay. And this is simple next to this one. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. Most of them have. I don't know. Alright, I guess I'm gonna say. Well, I was gonna say this one.
Let's do the terrorist, I guess?
I'm nothing like that terrorist.
She smiles. Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms.
You have no right.
I know we have no right. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him into court, ruin his life with a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me? And neither can you, right?
Nope.
Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you can just say you're my informant, my CI. He ripped open your gut and you saw your own insides. You were in a coma. Yeah, you had plenty of reason to want to get back at him.
She furrows her brow.
Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, you can come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand down on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right, and don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her.
I ain't saying that. I say nothing.
She puts her hand up, and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get the intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone. Obviously, not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut.
I'm not saying that.
Okay. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Poo-poo. Okay. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers.
Poo-poo. Key in ignition, motor running.
Radio on, crackles. You turn it off and start driving.
Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift.
Oh, we got 6 clues discovered. Available in your room.
All right.
You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Bosé gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of. Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect. Trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into the situation. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipes shake. You glance at your bed and get to work. Okay. What are we gonna look at? I'll look at the board first. Okay, here we go. It says Salim Wadian. Okay, remember, I'm gonna butcher some of these names. Well-known lawyer from St. Quentin. Defender of the Doha case, defender of several molested kids in poor neighborhoods, was a promising football player when he was 10. Hervé. Oh, Hervé. Didn't I say the name already? Bailu. Homeless man with an unknown background. Oh yeah, it was when I was gonna pick up that lady. Homeless man with an unknown background. Briefly worked for Charles Bougrain, victim 2, in the 90s. Got health issues after Rectidin health scandal, a couple of arrests, and breaking and entering. Pyro Bataz. Cop. Dad was a cop. He died 2 years ago. His mom had health issues. After the health scandal, he's gay. He's in a relationship. Never disclosed this information at work. Okay, Claudia Campos, medical examiner. Escaped from Argentina when she was young. Lost her parents to the Argentina junta. Paul Marie Fragonard. What is why? I get to look at the picture, I guess. Retired cop, joined the force in 1977, divorced from a judge, born in French Antilles, moved to the mainland in France. Oh, okay. Alright, let's look at our evidence. Picture of the crime scene. Let's start with the pictures. I guess I just press and hold these. Killer K. Now how do I look at these? Pasidex? No, this is all my... Oh, I gotta lock some stuff. Oh, okay. Okay, oh, here we go. Crime, you deserve this. Killer left message and shock first. Killer knew the victims. Message of crime scene, time's up.
No sign of violence. Okay, get his height. Can I move it so I can see it? Okay, I can move everything. Put that down here. Anything with nothing, I'll put down there. You only got you here, so... Killer left. Message on the crime scene, you deserve this. Okay. Great. Okay. On the crime scene, it said justice. This goes for everybody. This That's everybody. You deserve this. I really don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing tonight. Okay. Like, right now, I'm guessing, based on all this evidence. Oh, let me read it. Killer left us in shock on the first crime scene. Killer knew the victim. Researched some deaths. Victim was on bullet in the neck. No signs of violence. Wait, those two contradict each other. I don't understand. I mean, from the evidence right now, it looks like Paul did it. Because he's the only one, he got the gun. But then, and then here it says it was killed with a bullet. He has a gun. We don't know if the other ones have guns yet. And this one says no sign of violence, so that contradicts. So, I don't know. I guess I end the night? Can't see down there. Let's say end the night. Oh, at the present hold. Okay, end the night. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You slowly open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of a day run through your head. Don't smoke, kids. Or anyone, don't smoke. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Okay then. I feel like that kind of ended abruptly, but okay. You open one eye. You stretch slowly. It's already nighttime. Out. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 2. I had to go get gas. Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe I'll get gas over here. Do I need gas? No, I don't need gas. It says I don't need. A horde of cop cars is headed down the street, but no one notices you. You sigh. You park a few streets away from the Argentinian embassy. You wait there for your contact. You sigh. It seems so odd to have a contact. So excessive. The guy is one of your regular poker buddies. A night watchman at the embassy.
You get out of your taxi and walk towards the big metal gate. Clean lines, early 20th century maybe. Lots of iron. The gate opens and someone moves towards you. They indicate you should follow them. The person's face is hidden by an oversized hoodie. Your heart starts beating faster. What if it was... I'm gonna follow. You walk into the narrow covered passageway, probably the entrance to a parking garage. The man turns around and lights up a cigarette. The lighter lights up his face for a second. A young man with curly hair, pale skin. He looks young, very young. And that'll be 250 euros. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. For the intel? Yeah, for the intel. He laughs, a strange guttural sound. What do you think this was, a date? You want information on Gorodische? I got info on Gorodische and it'll cost you 250 euros. So what'll it be? Do I even have 250? I'm gonna bargain, I don't know. He raises his hands in front of his chest. His accent becomes stronger. No. It's 250 euros or nothing. Someone learns I fished around. They'll fire me on the spot. I guess I'll pay. Oh, that's a lot of money. I didn't realize how much I had. For that price, you hope the intel's good. You pay. Listen up, because I'm not going to say it twice. Gorodische. Okay, good. It's definitely a colonel from the junta. One of the few who hasn't arrested, but put on trial. He is responsible for torturing dozens of political opponents. He's tortured and killed them. You know, we don't like him much here, but the rich Argentinians in Paris love him. They really respect him. Respected him? I guess because he's dead? Thanks. I'd say, is that all? I read in the newspaper that the killer wrote a message in chalk. Time's up. It was a slogan at the end of the junta. Oh, wait, that was one of the clues. A sort of watchword from the opponents. It was time for them to go. You get it? You nod. A second later, you're back in your taxi with a hole in your wallet, but with new information on one of the victims. If you follow this lead, maybe your investigation will move forward. You start the car and go back to your shift. Okay. Can I can listen to the radio. Oh wait. So if I listen to the radio, that'll take away a half hour. Okay. Why does this look a little bit like Jacksepticeye? Okay, maybe her? She looks like a nice little lady that could help me. I need to talk to you. Yes, please. Carolina Jessup. Oh no, I got an achievement I can't see. 2%. Oh, okay. Alright, here we go. The scent of orange blossom fills the air as your passenger enters the cab. You smile. She returns your smile. Good evening. There's a raw emotional warmth to her voice. You sense your passenger wants to talk about the killer. It's simple. Since the first murder, everyone thinks they know something. Everyone thinks they saw something. And this passenger is no exception. It's pretty cold out tonight, isn't it? You nod. there are passengers, like this elderly woman you immediately take a liking to. I can almost feel the cold air settling around the corners of my mouth. It's a funny feeling, but one that a nice cup of hot tea can quickly dispel. A smile plays across her lips. Or a cup of hot chocolate, of course. On nights like this, I can't go out on my own anymore. And yet, I have to. She glances over at you. Why you have to go out? I know all about that.
Why do you have to go out?
Let's just say I needed to talk to you. I hope you won't get me wrong, but just a drive around the block, if you will. I know who you are and what you're doing. She's quiet for a minute, either searching for the right words or simply trying to reassure you. I admire what you're doing. The city really needs your help. So does the world. Don't take it the wrong way, but I know you're looking for the killer. I know what he did to you, and I know why you're after him. She gives you a warm smile. I'd like to make you an offer. And you can either take it or leave it. But I'd like anything that I tell you remain a secret. No matter what happens afterwards. What do you say?
Either I'm listening or not silently. I'm just gonna say I'm listening. I don't know what those dots or whatever mean. I'm just gonna nod silently.
A smile spreads over your passenger's face. My husband wasn't much of a talker either. A definite plus in my book. Good.
I mean, sorry about your husband, but good for me.
Well, anyhow, when he died, he left me a building. I converted it, made repairs and renovations. But above all, I gave it a goal, a role, a reason to exist. This hotel, I suppose I could call it a shelter, but that would scare away the people who need it. Some say it's a retreat, but the same thing, the word has unpleasant connotations. I keep calling it a hotel because my guests need to realize they're only passing through and that their real life is out there waiting for them. Her eyes meet yours. There's more to the kind grandmother in the back seat of your cab that meets the eye. A hint of greatness. Are you following me?
She's just telling me to go to the hotel, right? Because I don't know if I am following her. I don't want to say no. I don't want to say nothing either. I feel like that's rude. Oh no, what do I say? Yes, I believe so. Am I just too dull to know what she's trying to say? She's saying go to the hotel or something, right? Yes, I believe so. And the time is passing. I gotta answer quick. Are you following me? I'm gonna say, yes, I believe so.
Good. Well, anyhow, the hotel is reserved for men, women, and couples, for anyone who needs it, really. I use the word reserve, but there aren't any LGBT conditions. None other than my own, that is. We live in a wonderful country, but sometimes it fails to recall its fundamental values. Liberty, fraternity. In my hotel, I take in people who've been chased from their homes for every imaginable reason. Right now, I have a couple of women who are the victims of domestic abuse. A younger woman thrown out of her home because she didn't want to have an abortion. 2 couples who were thrown out by homophobic parents. her brow in consternation. Does that give you a better idea? Is it free? I'm gonna nod. Great. These people in trouble, I welcome them. I listen to them. I give them a moment's peace. Some spend a single night, others stay for a month. Most of my guests don't stay long. They leave as soon as they're back on their feet. As soon as they found housing. As soon as they found workout. Whatever caused them to leave home in the first place. You smile. There's always room, actually. I've never ever been full. And that's what I've come to see you about. You and I, we're on the same wavelength. We're working for the common good. Her forehead creases again, like a crumpled sheet. I may be wrong, of course. Am I? No. I'm just gonna shake my head. Good. Here are my rules, or requests, if you would rather. Rule number 1. You can mention my place to anyone you think may be in need of help. Once you drop them off, I ask them in. I talk to them, and I take care of them. You're free to go. You don't need to worry about me. I have my own security staff. The passenger gives her arm a pat, as if she had a holster under her shirt. Oh, she's packing. She's packing. Okay. Your gaze locks with her. She flashes you a meaningful smile, as if you were in the know. Rule number 2. If someone specifically asks you to bring them to my place, don't do it. Some of my guests are being pursued, hunted. It would be a shame to let the wolf into the sheepfold. A bright smile from the back seat. You can feel her warmth, the scent of the passenger's perfume. Orange blossom, simple and suggestive, hangs in the air. I pause. She's watching you intently. You pull over to the spot where you picked her up. Now, I'm gonna ask you once for all. Do you want to help me? A simple yes or no will do. Why did you say no? Oh, she tried to say if it, because it looks like it's a no. If it's a no, well then I'll have to find someone else. Okay. I'll do it. I'm not gonna have no questions. Yes, I'll do it. A smile. Oh, I got achievement. Hold on. If I ever get achievement, it covers up the dialogue. A smile. A smile lights up your passenger's face. Here's my card. She hands you the money for her fare along with her business card. You and I, we're gonna do great things together. I can feel it. She exits the cab, a little squeal escaping her as the cold strikes her full force. That's me. Good night. Try to stay warm. She vanishes down a nearby side street. You sit there for a moment, business card in hand. As you start the cab, a slow smile spreads over your face. Oh boy, yes, thank you. We're good right now. Let's see, I don't want to go out of my way. Whoa. Why is she blinking yellow? Anyone else blinking yellow? No. Oh wait, he's blinking yellow too. I'm right here. I might as well pick him up and then I'll go to her. Oh, it's you. Oh, does that mean yellow means it's a suspect? Oh, okay. I feel like I gotta take you. Okay, it's gonna take that much time. I'm not sure how much gas it's gonna take. It's not showing me the gas. Hey pal, can you help me out? Hervé Guailou. Okay. The door opens. It's Hervé, a homeless man, like Hamlet's father in Paris. Okay. You've known each other for years. Every now and then, he asks a favor of you, to drive him someplace. As usual, he greets you quietly, though he always seems a little on edge.
Hey, buddy. What's up, bub?
He has a strange verbal tick that he never really understood. Oh. He starts a cab. I feel you, boy. Okay. Your passenger keeps over his shoulder, clearly worried.
Is everything okay, Hervé? Yeah, sure. No worries.
His voice trails off. He seems to be collecting himself.
There's a cop in my jail. A cop? Has anyone come round asking about me? What do you mean?
You know, like from the crime squad?
Nah, nobody's been talking to me about you.
That guy been driving me crazy. Asking all these questions, digging up my past. You know what I mean?
Digging up your past?
Like my old girlfriends and stuff. Where I used to live. Why I left the shelter, Skelter. At first I thought it was a killer. You know, the serial killer. That he was after me. Why would he be after you?
Why would he be after you?
Because I saw his face. He pauses just enough time for your brain to process the information.
You get a look at the judge?
Your passenger gives you a funny smile.
I saw him in profile, Mile.
Profile or his face?
His profile or his face?
Profile? But what's the difference? I was like 50 feet away from him, man.
I was like sleeping in an alley across from the street from where, you know, he killed the last victim. My stomach hurt, I couldn't sleep, and you know, I saw him in profile. He had this weird way of walking, sort of hunched over as if he were tired. That's all? Yeah, that's all I saw. He had on black gloves and the streets were dark. I didn't see anything else.
He's staring at you.
But why do you care, man?
I'm just curious.
I think I saw him too.
The killer?
Yeah. Dang, dude, I didn't know. What happened? When?
There's a note of urgency in his voice.
3 months ago. It must have been scary. You gotta be careful with guys like that. They're crazy. Not right in the head.
His face eases into a cruel smile, like a naughty child.
And I know what I'm talking about. But man, if that cop comes around talking to you again, you tell him to go screw off for me, alright?
A note of anger has crept back into his voice.
Dang cops, they're never there when you need them. I sure as hell ain't gonna help. Yelp. They can go kick sick.
He looks away furious. You keep quiet and focus on the road. Okay, so that's a verbal tick. That's not what I have. I tick, but that's not the kind of tick I have. I misunderstood. Okay. All of a sudden, your passenger gives the seat back in front of him a thump.
Hey, stop right here, Near.
slow down and pull over as soon as you can.
Okay, I'm out of here. How many games am I gonna play with somebody?
I'm out of here.
Is everything alright? Yeah, sure, no worry, just a little business to take care of.
He's not all the way. The door opens and closes, and Hervé vanishes into the darkness. You open a window on your side. You're dying for a cigarette to relieve the pressure. It's not gonna help, buddy. You're not only killing yourself, you're killing everyone around you. Okay, so calm your racing heart. Take a deep breath, then drive away. I got no money.
But I got info. I got intel. Oh, you took me all the way up. I didn't even drop him up over here. Oh, somebody's there. Oh, they're changing locations. Wasn't she down there? Let's go to her now. U-turn. Salim Wadian, St. Owen. Oh, it's not far at all, and not much, but I'm gonna take it. You immediately recognize the passenger who just climbed into the back seat of your cab. I keep thinking it's a woman, I'm sorry. His face has been plastered all over the news for the last few weeks. He's a lawyer. A lawyer who's representing a terrorist. He gives you an address and you start driving. He holds your gaze in the rearview mirror like he's trying to read your mind. You drive across a virtually empty Paris. Behind you, the lawyer nervously consults his notes. Everything alright? He answers without looking up. Yes. You get the message and leave him alone. You continue driving without saying a word. The passenger mutters. Why did he have to say that to the cops? He's not taking this seriously. It doesn't get it. Idiot. There, again. He says it again. Is he contradicting himself or just... You glance in your mirror. The lawyer looks like a smaller version of himself. You sure everything's alright? He closes his eyes and remains silent for a while. You see him start to break. I can't take it anymore. He takes a deep breath. He loses control of his voice. This guy's a real a-hole. He's not just a monster, he's a total idiot. Tears form at the corner of his eyes. I've never seen such a moronic defendant. You know what it's like to defend a moron? You know what it's like to just get only 3 hours of sleep at night so you could defend a damn moron? Do you have any idea? He yells so loudly the windows shake. What is that face? I'm gonna say I'm sorry, but... I'm sorry. When he answers, his voice is icy cold. No need to apologize. There's nothing to be sorry about. He pauses, barely, just time to take a deep breath. Jesus effing Christ already! He kicks the seat in front of him. Jesus! He calms himself down. He steadies his breath. I'm the one who agreed to it. I actually fought to represent him. It's my own damn fault I'm being dragged through the mud. He raises his hand, snickers. Yeah, I admit it. At first I thought it was pretty great. Being on TV, all the interviews, journalists asking my opinion about everything. I shook so many hands, said so many words, sentences, yet I actually said nothing. When I worked in the hood, not a single person cared about my work. And now in 5 hours, I have to be on the radio, and 7 on TV. He pauses, breathes,
voice sounds further and further away. I don't know what these symbols mean. You should try and calm down. I feel like that's not nice to say. You should get some rest. He chuckles. Rest? No way. Actually, it's simple. I almost never sleep. When I lie in bed, I stare at the ceiling and go over the evidence in my head. He sits up. It's barbaric, disgusting, so horrific, it's almost unreal. He lets out a sigh from somewhere deep in his body. And then I discover that my client brought nails. The nails that were in the bombs, the corner market, and he kept the receipt. He kept the damn receipt. Folded it in half and slipped it into his wallet. That's what I see when I close my eyes. Disemboweled bodies and a receipt for €2 worth of nails. Why? He raises his voice quite high. Why, for God's sake? He thought he could expense it when he got to heaven? He pauses. So stupid and so dangerous. He disgusts me. He revolts me. Why defend him then? Because everyone has the right to an attorney. Everyone without exception. Otherwise, justice is no longer just. His fit of rage subsides. His fingers are shaking. When I signed on, I thought I'd be representing someone crazy. And I found out he's just a moron who played too many video games. This guy has never even read the Holy Book. They just used to justify their so-called acts of martyrdom. He read a few passages online. Passages online. Do you have any idea what a complete moron he is? He chuckles. I'm sorry. I truly am sorry. I shouldn't have said all that. He takes a deep breath. I don't have anyone else to talk with about it. All the lawyers avoid me like the plague. My mother can't understand why I'm doing this. She's so ashamed. She went back to Algeria. He's shaking. I get the shame. What I don't get is when people just lump things together. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not a murderer. Choice. He's a terror. You made the right choice. The right choice? Laughter echoes in the back of his throat. I barely had the choice. I couldn't just let injustice triumph. Everyone has the right to counsel, to stand trial, to have a fair trial. Even terrorists, even morons. His anger is back, but this time around, got it under control. We could just hang him right there, right now, and no one, I'm telling you, would shed a tear. He stays quiet for a moment, catches your gaze. That's why I keep doing this. He slows his breathing. For equality, our country was founded on it. The rights have been abused far too often for me to look the other way. Anger seems to be lifting. The taxi has almost reached its destination. In the backseat, the lawyer is much calmer. His voice is soft. I need you to be reminded of this. This will serve as a lesson. He looks at you in the mirror and bores into you with his gaze. It's odd, isn't it? That I ran into you tonight? I mean, as if... No, forget it.
pull over. He pays his fare. Wait, don't take this the wrong way, but he hands you another bill. Here, this is for you. For listening. For hearing what I had to say. Oh, I could refuse. Take it. I'm gonna refuse. He flinches, then nods. You're right. Perhaps it's better this way. God, yes, but also fraternity. Equality, yes, but also fraternity. The passenger smiles. You're right. As if he's getting out of the cab, you realize he left an envelope behind. For a second, one tiny second, you hesitate. It could be something important. Oh no. You forgot something and we're gonna say nothing. Oh no. Okay, I wanna play good guy. What if I give it back to him and he You forgot something. He freezes. Notices the envelopes and grabs it hastily. You can tell he's uncomfortable. He doesn't say another word. He gets out of the taxi, walks a few steps away, and then turns around to wave at you before entering a bistro. You drive off. I even get a tip? I thought I was gonna get something. Dang, dude. Okay. Who's down here? We're running out of time. This person completely dark. I can't even see. I want to see this person. I'm thinking about little Mr. Frank Sinatra over here. Oh, two women cross the street in front of your cab. They're laughing so loudly, you can't help but to smile to yourself. Oh, okay, Sean Christie. I have to go home. Okay. Okay, so the gas only pertains to the map. Okay. The passenger getting your cab is clearly upset. He gives you an address near Pantheon. You know the address, a residence for foreign students. You often drive American and Chinese students there. You start the cab in the back seat. The passenger in the back seat is furious about something. Excuse me. He has okay, American accent. What's a very thick... I'm an American, I don't even know what a very thick American accent is. He has a very thick American accent. You look up. Can I ask you something? You nod. How do the police usually treat black people in your country? This is pertaining. I mean in general, what is their behavior like? He isn't very sure in his pronunciation. I'm gonna answer honestly, I guess. Oh, is that the fist? Okay, answer honestly. I'd say the police have a problem with black people. You reveal your teeth as you continue speaking. And Arabs. And anyone wearing a hoodie. A hoodie? Yeah, wearing sweats. Yeah, if you dress like someone from the poor neighborhoods, they give you a hard time. What does Kyle mean? It's a new word to him. You shake your head. Well, it's a word with sort of negative connotations. Negative? Yes, definitely. He gives you a little smile. Now I get it. They thought I was a lowlife. A Kale. Even with your accent? I just realized I should probably be speaking in like some sort of French accent as the driver. Okay. Well, they didn't seem to understand me very well. Or maybe they thought I was making fun of them. Besides, everybody should have like some slight of French accent. I don't think I could do that. Well, just take whatever voices you can get, people. He sighs. You give him a second to catch his breath. His anger seems to be letting up. Is everything alright? He gives you a strange look. I don't know, I'm not feeling well. He takes a deep breath. Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have jumped on you with a question like that. Don't worry about it. Oh, I should have let him talk. I didn't see that. This afternoon after school, I got mugged in the metro by some guy. His voice drops to a whisper. He was the same age as me. He stole my money, my phone. He raises his voice a little. Luckily, I still have my credit card and my papers. I went straight to the police station and I was there for 8 hours. Tired, upset, about ready to quit. He raises his voice even more. I like France, but it's hard here as it is at home. People look down on you because they don't like the look of you. That's the right expression, isn't it? You nod yes. They say France is the land of freedom, of human rights. But you have to behave a certain way here too. The right way. He screws up his eyes. I like to be judged objectively. But I guess there's no such thing as objectiveness. He settles back into his seat. What are you studying? Excuse me? A minute ago you said you were leaving school and you were mugged. What are you studying? I'm studying to be a mime. A pause. Go ahead, say it. I didn't say anything. No, but go ahead. I'm used to it. I'm not going to make fun of it or anything. I just didn't know mime schools existed. He gives you a big smile. Imagine when I moved to France to study it. That is the place to go, isn't it? Is that still a thing? I mean, that sounds pretty cool. My American friends are still having a good laugh. What exactly are you learning to do? Acting techniques, stage, production, makeup, anything related to the art of mime, really. It must be really interesting. The best. His face breaks into a smile. That's why I'm still in France, for that matter. You sigh. France is not for everyone. What do you mean? I mean, the French usually stand up for their country. They're worse than the Americans. A country is like a romantic relationship. Sorry, excuse me. You can't fall in love with everybody. We have our likes, our dislikes, and we fall under a spell again. He's watching you. Are all cab drivers philosophers like you? He flashes a smile. I don't know. The passenger gives a little laugh. His eyes glaze over with expressionless, perhaps even sad look. Thanks, man. It was good to talk to you. He slipped into the infernal tube for him, no doubt by accident.
I had a hard time controlling my anger sometimes. That's why I had trouble with the police today.
How so?
Well, to start, they made me sit in a room for hours with a woman who was clearly a prostitute. They didn't want to take my statement. They didn't want me to file a complaint. I had to insist. They made fun of my studies, but I'm used to that. A small smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. And then when I started to get a little mad, I mentioned the American embassy. They said if I wasn't happy here, then I should go home. Certain innuendos were a little... When I got out, there were no more metros, so here I am, telling my life story to philosopher Cabby. Really, oh, I was gonna say, is that the Avengers logo, but it's obviously the Eiffel Tower on his hat, duh. He gives you a smile. Cops there. It's complicated here. Do they treat you badly too? You smile and shake your head. No need for him to know. Suddenly the Pantheon appears among the dark buildings. Its white dome breaks up the dull orange and brown tones of the Parisian night sky. Your passenger breathes a little sigh of satisfaction. Beautiful, isn't it? No doubt about it. You park in front of the residence where the young man lives. He pays the fare. He stretches his hand towards you. Thanks again. Meeting you was just what I needed. You shake his hand. He has a strong, confident grip. You know, you should film your rounds at night. It'd make a great series. You answer with a smile. He opens the door, gives you a big smile, then disappears. You hold your arms close to your sides for a moment. You catch your breath, trying to control the anxiety welling up inside. The mere mention of police, and you start to gab. Okay. Ugh. What happens if I click this? Yeah, I feel like that whole talk was very pertaining to the world nowadays. Okay. Running out of time. Running out of gas. Okay. We're almost there. Okay, this is the last one for the night, I'm guessing. Oh, Paul Marie Fragonard. Hospital St. Louis, please. Yeah, let's do it. Your next passenger is your suspect, the retired policeman. Judging by his looks, you could have easily guessed. Hospital, oh, it's hospital, not hospital. That's how they say it. Hospital St. Louis, please. Hospital, I still pronounce hospital, but the S is silent. Okay, let's just start. You nod your head and start the engine. You glance at your passenger, same expression, same clothes. Some things never change. He looks grumpy, in a bad mood. He's holding a cigarette between his fingers and almost broken it several times. Tough morning? He shrugs. No more than usual. His tone makes it clear there's no room for discussion. You let it drop. A bit further, construction workers are bustling about, tearing down a storefront. Oh, are they finally taking that down? Oh, what was it before? Ah, when I first came to Paris, it was a thrift store. Oh, I love thrift stores. You could buy pants there for just a few francs. But for years, it's been I don't like saying that word either. Been a shop on the first in Paris, actually.
I think they filmed some famous movie there. He sighs. That was all before the internet, now online. Yeah, they're probably gonna put in a cell phone shop or one that sells electronic cigarettes. Go figure. He pauses. A passenger turns around. He watches the buildings grow smaller as the taxi drives away. I'm surprised it stayed open for so long. I mean, since the hostage situation, it must have attracted some shady fellas. The kind who like to jerk off when two cops get taken out.
Two cops?
One of your cases? Yeah, though at the same time it was only a measly lieutenant. This is not-nosed kid. We've got calls from the neighbors of the shop. They couldn't stand the noise anymore. Day and night, people were in and out. Most of the time they were quiet, but they were always noisy ones. And the booths weren't soundproof. After a few months, the woman upstairs knew all the films. There were some high society types there. The shop had a few films for gay people, for single women, the cream of the crop. His attention is caught by something outside for a second. Okay, so anyway, one evening, one of the neighbors takes his daddy's rifle from the wall mount and goes outside. He fires a warning shot that breaks part of the front window and then goes in. The guy had bloodshot eyes and was foaming at the mouth. He demanded the owner to close the shop immediately, said he wanted to sleep, cleanse the earth of those perverts. The fella was basically having a psychotic episode in front of about 15 clients. We got there about 10 p.m. Evacuated the street, got the response team ready. And back then, it wasn't like today, you know, with the helmets and the tiny cameras and those little flying whatchamacallits. Kites? Drones? Your passenger snaps his fingers. Yeah, that's it, drones. Yeah, so back then, they didn't have any of that stuff. The plan was just to go in and take the pot shots at everyone. My chief, great guy, taught me everything I know. Well, almost. He took the megaphone and started talking to the hostage taker. He told him he needed to let the civilians go or someone would get hurt. And no one wanted anyone to get hurt. The hostage taker said, okay, let me see. I'll free the woman first. Went back in, we got ready, pulled on our bulletproof vests, checked our weapons. Looked like we were getting ready for an old-style duel. What nobody knew is that there were two fellow cops inside already in the crowd. They were not interested in being released. Since the hostage situation started, they've been trying to find a way to escape out the back. He snickers. They were ashamed to be there. They said to themselves that they could approach the hostage taker and then tell them that they were infiltrated the building before the police officially got there. But the guy with the rifle was not a newbie. He was a Boy Scout, and his father had taught him how to fight. A dry laugh. His father had fought the Nazis. He wanted to fight the hippies. Classic. You could see the two cops were a bit worked up. Were speaking in hushed voices. So he pulls one of them aside and decides to let him go. The police flounders. He asks the hostage taker to take one of the 4 women in the shop instead of him. But he won't have it. So they were outside and all of a sudden, out came McHale, the deputy chief of police. His shirt was untucked and he had a stupid look on his face. And then the guy behind me started to laugh. The hostage taker fired. First time in my life I saw a skull from the inside. Brains and blood strewn from all over the sidewalk. I tossed my cookies. I mean, hey, I'd only been on the force for 2 years, you know? You understand? He sniffles. I wouldn't have wanted to change places with the guy behind me who was laughing. We never knew who it was. There were lots of rumors. even one saying it was me.
He is silent for a moment.
But it wasn't. I didn't know Mikhail Fasadas. Well, not well anyway.
He shrugs and falls silent again. You let a few seconds go by.
What about the other cop? The other cop? The one who was still in the shop. He attacked the hostage taker in the shop. Another rifle shot and, well, our brother spent 6 weeks in extensive care before he croaked. As for the hostage taker, I think he must be out of jail by now. A real psycho, high on all sorts of pills, not a pretty sight. They redid the shop after, and since then anyone from the squad who came in always got a little discount.
You pull the car up in front of the hospital and your passenger pays.
It's the least they can do when you think about it. I've never been myself. Actually, I avoided ever going down that street so I wouldn't have to think about that day again. It's almost like a bouquet of puppies. Big red and black flowers.
He pauses.
It's odd that I think of poppies. Why did I say puppies? It's poppies, sorry. Considering considering what they mean. You know, each flower is a symbol, has meaning. And I believe the poppy symbolizes peacefulness. I'd have to check. My ex-wife left me a book about it. I don't know why I held on to it.
His eyes wander.
Yep.
He sits up.
Alright, I'm off.
He gets out of the car and walks towards the hospital. His figure blurs into the darkness. For a second, you think he might have stopped. He disappears into the hospital. You drive off. Wow, these people are tipping terribly.
What is this? Oh, damn. You know more about your clients. I too. Okay. You met Carolina. You accepted Carolina's offer. Oh. You met Hervey. Dang, dude. Your investigation. What? I'm confused. They take away money? You have met Salim. You have met Sean.
You were honest with Sean. You helped Sean.
You met Fragonard. Fragonard told you about the hostage situation at the shop.
Give me a second.
Okay. Let's continue.
We're gonna put some clues together. I wonder how many nights there are. At the foot of your front door, just behind a drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. You can just make out your name written in thick black marker on the front.
Your real name. Oh, excuse me.
You take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope, you find more information, just as Boucher promised. You lay them on a table. You look at the new evidence on the table. It'll take you a while to read everything carefully. A bus goes by, making the walls shake. You take your shoes off before getting to work. Investigate.
What do you mean not enough time? Oh, snap. I didn't realize it. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay. Oh, I could do that. Okay, now. I didn't. No, I did speak to you. The crime scene. Stolen wallet. Don't work with my OCD. Okay. You deserve that. Did I speak to Perot? I don't think I did. I didn't speak to Claudia. I just spoke to 3 out of 5 so far. Oh, there's a lot of evidence towards you. I guess we're gonna end the night. We're gonna turn these off because they're not connected to anything. Okay. There we go. Okay. End the night, I guess. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You pull open the sofa bed, which unfolds an unpleasant creak. You collapse onto the mattress. The events of the day run through your head. The secrets, not the secrets, the streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open one eye. It's pitch black outside. Time for work. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 3. Oh, we got a few eyes. Okay. Oh, we got... Oh, Salim again. Should I do Salim or... I mean, I'm right here. I probably should do one of these. Let me do this one. Then I'm going to go get gas. The police archives look like any other building in Paris. No sign, nothing to make it stand out. But this is where all the case files and criminal records are stored. You know the place well. For several months, you spent a lot of time with the woman who directs it. She was a regular passenger, calling upon you almost every night. First as a driver, and then you could see her shape from across the street. You try to prevent your brain from going there, but it has a mind of its own. She's as beautiful as ever. You get out of the cab. You cross over the sidewalk on the other side. I'm not going to lie, I was surprised by your request. She lights a cigarette, but she still has that cold, distant look about her. But you know it's just a facade. You don't smoke anymore? You should be quitting, but I know that's a lie. Alright, You light a cigarette. That first waft of nicotine and gas from the lighter. Heaven. Is it really? She runs a hand to her hair. Her wedding band shines under the street lamps. You're freezing. Listen, I'm sure you know I'm not allowed to give you this kind of information. But if what you said was true, then you get the impression that she's reaching for your side. You have any information for me? Yes. Sorry, of course. I fished around and the first 3 victims were not part of the data leak. Poo-poo. Poo-poo indeed. Does that mean the information for the Besson Bourgogne and the Argentinian one? Goradischer? Yes, that's it. Goradischer. It came from someone who had access to their criminal record. That help? You nod. Bits of your ash from your cigarette sprinkle into your pants. You attempt to smile. Yes, it's better than nothing. A moment of silence. Helena takes a drag of a cigarette like there's no tomorrow. She paces a bit to warm herself up. You should come over sometime. What do you think? You grin. You and Helena used to sleep together when things with her husband weren't so good. That wouldn't be a good idea. She turns her head away in a soft, graceful motion. Of course. I don't know why She looks deep in your eyes. You look down. Her hands are shaking. One last smile, and she puts her cigarette out. You do the same. I've got to run. Need a taxi? That's very kind of you, but Bruno's coming to pick me up in a little while. Good luck. She reaches out to you affectionately, but stops. You decide to cross the street to put some distance between you and as quickly as possible. While you get to your cab, you hear her saying something. Sorry, I'm tired. She's yelling from across the street. Also, you should stop smoking. It's bad for your health. You wave. She goes back into the archives. You get in your cab. Sorry, I skipped that too fast. Blah, blah, blah. You get in your cab. Time to get back to your shift. Alright. Look at all these people. I don't even know what this is. Doesn't even look like a person. Look at all those chickens. Okay. I might as well do this because I'm right here. Why you had to U-turn, man? You just go the other way. Alright, because you drive on the left side, right? Park your taxi across from the stadium, just a few meters from the two-story building. It's an odd brick place that clashes with the huge concrete behemoth that is Varsity Stadium. You get out of the car and walk to the front door. You knock. You wait a few minutes. Light comes on, and the door finally opens. Marco appears. Marco's a former taxi driver, a strange guy, a bit spacey and different. He's been working at the stadium for a few years now. Well, damn, you're still alive? That's Marco. You like him. I mean, wow, so nice to see you. Even though he stole your wife. Come in, come in. You wanna come in the drink? You oh yeah, you stopped drinking cup of coffee? Yes, please. You follow him into the caretaker's home. It's pretty nice despite the mess and filth. He serves you a cup of coffee and sits down on the table. You follow suit. The only noise in the room is the TV behind Marco. Before you came by, he was playing a soccer video game. The fans are singing and clapping their hands. So, what have you been up to? I have some questions for you. He shakes his head. No, not yet, man. Seriously, no. The last time I helped you out, I lost my job, so the answer's no. You have no choice, and you know it. You owe me this much. Marco drops his head between his shoulders. He starts to beg. I'm telling you, man, I love this job. It's so easy. I get to take care of the stadium. It's empty 75% of the time. He sits up roughly in his chair. Behind him on the screen, the stadium is going wild. I need information on Ronan Basson. He straightens up. Ronan? The coach that got killed by the judge? The very one. He was a great guy. Everyone's torn up about it. But there are rumors. Some parents heard he was a little too hands-on with the kids a while back, if you get my drift. But no one ever looked into it. Was it true? I don't know nothing. He sighs. A few months ago, Ronan cornered the kid, like, by the showers. You know what I mean? The kid stabbed him in the thigh with a pair of scissors and ran away. He had a pair of scissors in the shower? Parents weren't sure whether they filed a complaint. The club's director brought Ronan in, and bam! 2 days later, he was murdered. Who else knows this? About the kid? No one, I think. Well, maybe about some other parents? I don't know. You get up. One last thing. Give him the name of your suspect. Give him the name of the victims. Oh boy! Give him the name of your suspects. Give him the name of the victims. Give him the name of the suspects. He might be able to help. I want him to say, oh, look at you, and then he's gonna tell him, he's gonna say, oh, yo, this man's after you. I'm gonna give him the name of the victim. He lists the victims. He doesn't react until you mention Charles Beaugrain. Oh yeah, him. I know him. I mean, everybody knows him. Right-wing extremist son of a gun. Hold on, what are you doing these days? I can't say. Marco sits up. Damn it, I'm gonna get fired. Easy. His voice speeds up. Don't tell anyone where you got this information, okay? Time will tell. Don't worry. Yeah, I've heard that before. A vuvuzela noise comes from the TV. I don't know what that is. Okay, I gotta run. He walks to the door, mumbling with clenched teeth. Every time I run into you, you jinx me. Every single time. You walk outside and over to your taxi. Door, key, motor purring. You go back to work. Cat walks in front of your cab. Its eyes shine for a minute. A second later, it's gone. Leave your taxi behind and walk towards the last victim's building. Charles Beaugrain Fair was killed in his parking garage. The large metal garage door is firmly closed. You walk around the back of the building and look for various entrances. The main one, the garage door, and a maintenance door for the trash cans. You walk the back of the building. The various... You walked into the back of the building and look at the various entrances. The main one. Try the maintenance entrance. You're barely taking a step when a voice calls out to you. Hey, what are you doing? This is private property. Turn around and see a rather elderly man, probably the concierge. He shines his flashlight in your direction. No, I don't think I should say I'm a journalist. I don't think I should say I'm a fan either. I'm a taxi driver or I'm lost. I'm lost. Lost? You think I'm an idiot? Go, get out of here, I'm calling the cops. You leave the lobby. The concierge follows you, checks to make sure the door is firmly shut behind you. If I see you lurking around again, I'm calling the cops. You make your way back to your cab. You glance back at the building. The furious concierge is gone. You settle in behind the wheel, short of breath. Aww. That was somewhat of a failure. Okay. I keep saying I'm gonna do this Frank Sinatra looking dude. Dennis Petit-Jean. Okay. Say Dennis, please. Yeah. I don't want to, like, deny it. I mean, I already denied somebody and I don't know. Okay, he's angry. Why are you real angry, boy? Okay. Your passenger climbs into the cab and slams the door shut behind him. Good evening. Plain Saint Denis, please. He stops short, visibly sizing you up. Do you know where it is? You nod yes. Avenue des Magasins d'Enfer. So, you know the streets? Yeah, sure. He looks at you intently. You know all the streets of Paris? His question drips with disbelief. You know this kind well. The sort who preferred you as the Arab. You not bad in either. And not bad in either. Okay. Yes, I do, monsieur. He seems hesitant. Well then, let's go. You start the cab. Your client stares out the windows as if hypnotized. You watch him in the rearview mirror. His face is familiar to you. His accent too, though you've never been able to place it. Typical of some rural rear in central France, perhaps. You take another look. That's it, you got it. He was a contestant on one of those reality shows where farmers meet women. You've seen him on the show a few weeks ago. Before, we watched it from your hospital bed with a distracted eye. But something about it bothered you. The show had a masquerade life in the country, seemed very Parisian and cynical perspective, full of scorn and contempt. Okay then, you figured out who I am? His remark and his accent brings you back to the present. Sorry? You recognize me, right? Oh, you can make fun of me now. Make fun of you? He shrugs. Yeah, like all the other people do out there. Oh, that Tweety thing. Tweety? It takes you a second to realize he's talking about social media. Make fun of you? Yeah, well, go on, have a good laugh. It's free, right? Why shouldn't you? Have a good laugh at my expense. That's all I'm good for, right? His eyes meet yours, his voice faltering. He sighs heavily. Then he shakes his shoulders. He goes on staring at you for a while and then seems to calm down. Sorry. He shakes his head, obviously moved. His shell is starting to crack. It's a living hell. Imagine what I'm going through. It's a nightmare. 3 months ago, I was contestant on a stupid show, Fields of Love. Well, I said yes because my wife's been dead for 25 years. It's been all alone ever since. Just me and cows and others. Stops and shrugs. The show has aired like a month ago. At first things were fine. Friends called, we had a good laugh and all. And then I found out the internet laughing at me too. They're those things. I can't remember what they're called. Moms, memes. Is he trying to say memes? You know those pictures that move all by themselves on the damn internet. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? So I made myself a Tweety account. Oh my god. To go see what they're saying about me. Called me a virgin, a Nazi, that I screw my cows too. He looks away as if someone else has spoken the words. I practically die laughing. A farmer who... He doesn't want to finish the sentence. So yesterday, I said I've had it. Told my cousin to keep an eye on my farm, and I left for Paris. I'm on my way to see those TV jokers right now. 6 months ago, they said that if I was any problem whatsoever, they take care of it. Well, there is a problem. His anger has subsided somewhat, his face returning to its normal color. Excuse me. That's awful. You get the energetic nod on the head. And believe me, they're going to listen. I may be a plain old farmer, but nobody's gonna disrespect me. He squares his shoulder as if to fend off the attacks. Forget it. His eyes half closed, practically growls the words. There's a palpable air of sadness about him. At first I told him I didn't want to be in a stupid old show, which wasn't for me. They insisted. They showed me pictures of the woman. He lowers his eyes. And then, well, I said yes. Should never have said yes. You pull up to the address he gave you. The studio gates are still closed. You park the cab and cut the engine. Is it closed? You nod yes. Doesn't open until 6. You sigh. You point a sign posted near the gate. He sighs. There will be hardly anyone here before 9 or 10 o'clock. I don't care, I'll wait. He rummages through pockets and pulls out a wallet. What are you gonna ask them? I want them to apologize on TV, during the show, in front of everyone. To talk about the things that they changed, all the bits of sentences they cut up and put back together. He fixes his gaze on you. His eyes narrow. You know I'm not racist. His voice is low and raspy. I don't believe the show. I didn't mean what I said. And I didn't really say that stuff either. They always do that. He nods. Yeah, well, the media, they distort everything. They change things are more, more. He's searching for the right word. It's no use. His hands were shaking. Oh well. He fixes his gaze on you, visibly moved. I'm not very good at this. He chokes up, gesturing a hand as if to make it all disappear. When he starts up again, he's still on the verge of tears. Anyhow, I'll just wait here until it opens. The passenger pays his fare and exits the cab. You watch him for a minute as he stares at his vigil in front of the gates. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. Your passenger must have left it behind. Or the one before? You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. Then you start the cab. It's packed to the grind. Somewhat decent tip compared to everything I've been getting so far. Okay. I'm gonna read the newspaper. You pull the newspaper out of your glove compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually something grabs your eye. It's a sensational article about the third victim, Simon Godechia. He is thought to have escaped Argentina in the 1980s because he was a member of the Process, the military dictatorship that had been in power.
Pretty important information in your opinion. You turn the page and stop. You read about a third of the newspaper. Keep reading. You stop reading and go back a few pages. You thought you saw something. The tiny article in the corner of one page. Ongoing protests in the South African country of French Guiana have been paralyzing the territory for 2 months. You raise your head. Until now, you heard nothing about these protests. You only have a third left to read. Read the whole thing. As soon as you get to the page, your instinct tells you to look at the poorly written and angry article of the Mayor of Paris. I'm talking to myself so I can say Paris. Paris, making one of the neighborhoods entirely pedestrian. Apparently everyone hates the idea, other than the tourists. You shut the paper. It'll end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there. Otherwise, it'll spend the rest of its day in your glove compartment. Okay. Slightly different people. You. Come on, come on. Okay, cardiac compost. Let's do it. You pick up your next passenger in front of the Paris office of the medical examiner, the morgue. When she gets in, you're surprised. How can she be a suspect? Her face, beautiful and soft, doesn't go with her clothing, her style, or her attitude. She gives you her address and you start driving. Her voice is dry, frank, and she has an accent you have trouble determining. South American, maybe. She seems far away, lost in thought. A few seconds go by and she still hasn't taken much of a look at you. Everything okay? She almost jumped out of her seat. Looks like she wants to disappear. Yes, everything is fine. The accent again. The one you can't quite place. Long day? In the matter of speaking. Some days are harder than the others. Some days take more out of you. They're more demanding than others. A sad smile runs across her face like a shooting star. A second goes by, slowly, very slowly. Then the meteorite explodes. Your passenger breaks down. Are you okay? She raises a hand to silence you. Between sobs, you hear her say something. Give me a minute. Please. Without a word and without the slightest noise, you slow down. The road passes by, slowly, in no hurry. After a moment, she sits up. Can I ask you something? You nod. She takes a deep breath. This may seem like a ridiculous question, or at least a stupid one. Actually, it's completely stupid. Give her an encouraging smile. But I'd like you to hit on me. She blushes and immediately follows up. I mean, not for real, just for play. Like we're at a bar, like you want to buy me a drink. She shakes her head. Forget it. Stupid. Totally stupid. Ask for clarification. I'll do it. Sure. A moment of silence. She seems surprised. Really? Yeah. You don't mind? I thought you would refuse. I just have a few rules, if you don't mind. First, I don't want to talk about Argentina, my home, my parents. Avoid the subject. She pauses. Does that work for you? You nod. Good. Second, I don't want to talk about work. I'm a medical examiner. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
I cut open dead bodies. I take out bullets, tumors, cirrhosis-filled livers. At first, people are always fascinated, but they quickly get disgusted. So, nothing about work. Let's start, if you're ready.
You nod.
We're in a bar. It's not very late. Not very late, but we're the only ones there. I'm alone at the bar, finishing a drink. I get up to leave. Silence. Please, go ahead. Hitting on a passenger. This is definitely a first. You've got to find a good line. Something that will set the tone. Polite.
Excuse me.
Yes? Her voice is softer, her accent stronger.
May I join you?
Of course. She sits up a little and points to the imaginary bar next to her. Buy me a drink?
Of course.
How about a little game? You look like the kind of guy who drinks cocktails. Something sweet. I could be wrong, but what about me? What is my kind of drink? She rolls the R on the last word.
Drink. Right? Sounds like that. Drink. Toronto. Okay, sorry.
Something stiff, something sweet, something subtle.
Something subtle?
What do you mean?
You want something special. You want to be surprised by life.
She bursts out laughing. Aren't you good at this game? She gets back into the character. Yes, that's exactly. You read me like a book. She stares at you. Something about her posture in the back seat is different. Don't you think as time goes by too slowly? Aju, we wait, we hold on, we get bored. I'd like it all to go faster, for things to speed up.
She relaxes, giggles.
She's letting go. She looks at you expectantly. You know not what you do for a living.
I like the way you laugh.
You do? That's an odd compliment.
It's true.
Thank you. She closes her eyes and stays that way for a little while. A smile settles on her face, a warm, natural, and uncontrolled smile. Thank you. You are perfect, unusually kind. She nods slowly. I must confess that the way you came on to me was truly charming. You have very kind eyes. Your passenger's eyes contently. She seemed happy, relieved. You pull up in front of the address she gave you. It's strange.
What's that?
There's something different about you. You're not like other men. As if... She hands you her fare and sips you a tip. Don't refuse it, please. It means something to me. You nod. I hope to run into you again. You shiver. One last smile. Goodbye. She gets out of the cab. You watch her until she disappears into her building. Okay. I wouldn't mind seeing her again. That was fun. Take it. Okay. We got 3 right here.
Who else? Okay, we're gonna do one of these three because I don't have much time. Okay, you. A few cars are headed towards Paris. Perhaps the lead commuters from the suburbs rushing to get to the office of blah 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 blah. Running out of time. What do we have? Okay, what's a lot of money? I need to go for a drive. Julian Paz. The passenger who entered your cab is sad. Dejected even. His livid complexion and vacant eye tell you that he is at the end of his rope. He falters, the word stuck in his throat. I just want to go for a drive. How about the boys de Vincennes? You nod and start the cab. You drive without saying a word. Every once in a while you glance back at your passenger. His color seems to be gradually returning. My name is Julian Paz. I am a computer scientist and you'll be hearing about me in the next couple days. He falls silent and places a hand over his stomach. He seems to be in pain. Oh no. Do you want to see a doctor? His phone starts vibrating. He looks down at it, but it doesn't move. My parents. Something's up. He sighs. His eyes are fixed on you. I've just released over 30 years of police records. Oh no. The words burst from him in an angry rush. 30 years of secret files, of wheeling and dealing, of violence and corruption. 30 years of money, mine and yours, used to cover it all up. Well, not anymore. It's all over now. Nothing will ever be the same. He's wearing a nasty smile, strained and humorless. They're not gonna let you get away with it. How did you get away with that? Why did you do it? Why? Because I had to. His voice breaks. Because I'm an archivist. 2 years ago, my team and I started digitalizing the police archives, and there's a bunch of pretty sensitive stuff in there. He closes his eyes. My boss wanted to inform our superiors to let them know that some of our documents were highly sensitive. But I convinced him not to say anything, not to do anything. Last month he retired. I took over for him. The words seemed to be shoring him up. He sits a little straighter, almost more imperceptibly. And I so contacted NGOs, independent organizations, journalists. I give them access to tons of data. He looks you straight in the eye. This is the land of humans, right? Isn't it? My grandparents fled fascism all across France, and they chose to come here to France. It was for the reason. A pause. I owe it to them. There were files, entire files of fascist pigs in uniforms, and now they got help the militias. They armed certain splinter groups in order to control the anarchists, students, and the austerity globalists. There were other files on how 25 years of scheming kept police commissioners in office despite his neo-Nazi buddies. When I saw all that, I said, enough. A lengthy pause. He stares vacantly into space. I don't know how they let it all get in my hands, to tell you the truth. There were whole boxes of testimonies and reports. A slight change in the tone of his voice, lower and more confident. Somebody had to do something. His confidence suddenly vanishes. He snaps. Damn, man. Damn it. I've lost everything. I really blew it. His voice trails off. His phone is starting to vibrate again. Maybe they're worried. He holds up a hand. Thank you, but I need to be left alone. You nod and continue on to the boy the best way. Ride continues in silence. Your passenger ignores his cell phone. It keeps on vibrating over and over again. Ever so often, you steal a glance at him in the rearview mirror. Passenger can't be more than 35, but he already seems a lot older. Especially his voice is broken, vulnerable from a fall. Continue watching. You notice his scalp. His hair has white roots, and his eyes dark circles. Are you trying to remember my face? So you'll be able to recognize me on TV? No, I... You're a little taken aback, but the tone of his voice isn't malicious. Only a little bitter, perhaps. They say TV distorts faces. It often softens the lines. The noses look thinner. I don't know if it's true. We'll find out when they drag me through the mud. The phone vibrates again. He looks down at the screen and shrugs. Can I ask you something? He looks up. You can see his apprehension in his eyes. The fear, too. Yes. I'm investigating the judge. The man leans in a little closer to you. Why are you doing that? His November victim was one of my clients. He paused. An almost imperceptible change comes over your passenger's face. I heard about a witness. It's you? You nod. If I could... Oh my god, it scared me! I got an achievement and the noise was so loud and I was like such an entranced. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. Alright. If I could see the files they're talking about. You're trying to catch him by yourself? I'm working with the police. I'm helping the cops. You're what? I'm giving him a little help. Asking a few questions, keeping my eyes open. No, I'm sorry. No. I refuse to do anything to help them. Do you realize he lowers his eyes. A slight change comes over his voice. It seems softer, slightly childlike. Were you afraid? What do you mean? When he attacked you, were you afraid? The picture of the side street flashes through your mind, the rain, the smell of gunpowder, and the stupid question, where did all that blood come from? Not at the time. It happened too fast. He nods. Your passenger is biting the inside of his cheek, a habit I know all too well. Well, okay, I'll help you. Not a word to the police. It'll be better for both of us. Thank you. Wait until we see what we uncover. You give him your suspect list. He carefully notices their names. You notice his fingers shaking. I can't promise you anything, but I'll take a look. How can I get information to you if I come up with something? Leave anything you find for me under this bleak garage. Can we trust them? You nod. Yes, entirely. A pause. He's staring at you. Take my word for it. Fine. You're getting close to the boy. Their friends fine now. Where should I drop you? The cafe on the boulevard, near the park entrance. Near the chateau. You nod. I know it. I want to see the sun come up. You glance at the time of your clock. A smile flickers across your face. The castle. It's so big and so empty. Can you imagine everything that could be put in there? Hidden in there? He moves his head from side to side as if keeping time with the thoughts going round in his head like a song. You pull up outside the cafe in question. The passenger hands you his fare. Keep the change.
And don't forget my face. Please. Keep it etched in your memory. I'm... An uneasy pause. I'm afraid of forgetting it myself. Your eyes follow him until he enters the cafe. He sits down, orders something, then picks up the newspaper on the table next to him. A few seconds later, he seems to just be another ordinary guy. He could be anyone, a simple bystander. You drive away. Hey, thank you. The end of the night, right? Okay, you know more about your clients. You've met Dennis. Oh, 420. Smoke weed every day. Okay. Dennis knew you recognized him. Just try to explain why he's not racist. You met Claudia. You charmed Claudia. You've met Julian. You asked Julian to help you. You told Julian the truth. That's it. Okay. Do I want to end it here? I'm gonna continue. You open your front door and your foot hits something. An envelope. Someone slid it under the door? Bousse? You open it straight away. It's a police file. You lay it on the table. It must be from your passenger, the whistleblower. He smiled. He kept his word. You take a few minutes to update your board with no clues. Neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. You glance at your bed and get to work. Okay, so it shows how much time it would take to go over each of the files. I'm gonna start with Julian's. And I only have enough time for one more. Picture? I'm gonna go with the police report. Okay. Not enough time. Okay. Let's look up. What are we working with now? Anything else that we can't work with? Okay. Where am I gonna put you? Put you over here a little bit. You go there. A little higher so I can read that. A bit more. You there. You there. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna pile these on top of each other. Maybe make some more space there too. Okay. Let's say I turn it off. Oh, the line disappears. Let me turn them on, but put them in the corner. Just in case. So if I see a line coming from one of them, I know.
But I have to look at this new. Okay. Okay. Stolen wallet. You. There. Just you, okay? You. Just you. Just you. Just you. All right. I still don't know who it is. Now I have a lot of evidence towards you. Okay, am I gonna end the night? Should I turn it off here? Save it for tomorrow or something? Alright, I'll do one more night. The phone rings and you jump. You're not used to hearing it. No one ever calls you. It must be Bousset. Oh god. Okay, pick it up. You pick it up. Bousset sounds irritated. You there? Yeah. Listen, it's... She pauses. Suddenly you hear a ruckus in the background. Probably noise at the station. Bousset raises her voice. Anyone got some time? Hey, guys? Anyone? Damn it, they're all Neanderthals here. Listen, it's early and I'm wiped out. So are you, I bet. Let's get straight to the point. What do you have for me? In a calm and methodical voice, you start giving her the evidence you collected. You start with the first suspect, the connection to the victims, the rumors, then the second suspect, and so on. A few minutes in, she lets out a whistle. Whew. Not bad at all. Seriously, you should come give a lesson to the zombies I work with. A long sigh. I have some good news for you. We've checked the alibi of one of the suspects I gave you. As you listen to her, you turn to the board and pull down the suspect she's referring to. Ooh. I hope it's Hervé. So, it's gotta be someone else. She snickers. So, you know how lucky you are? I'm doing your job for you, pal. Okay, enough chit-chat.
I gotta run. I'll call you in 3 days, okay? Okay, so it's more than 5 days.
Understood.
Good. Good, doggy. I'll call you in 3 days, and you better have what I need to make a proper arrest. Okay. The DA has fangs. We're pretty sure it's gonna turn into a werewolf at some point. She babbles on for a while. Her voice becomes softer, but just as sarcastic. That would explain his terrible breath. Okay, I'm out. She hangs up. You hold the handset to your ear for a while. You have just one thing in mind. Sleeping. And forgetting it all. Who was it? Oh. Okay. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. Pull open a sofa bed, which unfolds in a pleasant creak. You collapse into the mattress. The events of the day run through your head. Did I even meet that guy? The streets, the passengers, the faces, the problems. You open one eye. You find your studio calming. There's something special about living in a garret like yours is the last place before the sky starts. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 4.
Okay.
Okay, where am I? Where? You look like you're troubled.
Monsieur Doroche. Valise de Congrès. Okay.
The next passenger gets in your cab like an old man returning to his armchair. All grunts and groans. After what seems to be like several minutes, he settles himself in and delicately fastens a belt across his chest. Looking in the mirror, you notice the man's age with surprise. He can't be older than 25.
Howdy. You get the address right?
Palais de Congrès?
Bingo. Let's roll, dude.
You smile to yourself and turn the key in ignition. After a few moments of silence, you hear your passenger moaning softly to himself, apparently in pain.
Good night. Are you okay back there? I look that bad, huh?
No, it's just...
I'm kidding, man. Why is the dialogue all of a sudden different? I'm kidding, man. Look, I know I look like roadkill. Feel like roadkill. Look like I ate roadkill. Like some roadkill ate me. But I'm fine, really. Thanks for checking in.
You look back at him. His eyes are hidden beneath his hood. His whole body is curled in on itself. He looks terrified.
Are you sure you're okay?
Just
Pre-show jitters.
He laughs unconvincingly.
Who am I kidding? I'm scared out of my mind. Literally. Scared? Technotopia 9. That's where we're going. Every biohacker, transhumanist, and futurologist worth his cryptocurrency will be there. I'm giving a talk. The closing talk, in fact. Bioweapon. Sounds like a big deal. Oh man, it is. Someone even say Mitnick there. Someone even saw Mitnick there yesterday. I mean, the Condor himself. The name strikes nothing to you. But your passenger looks positively starstruck. Me, showing off my work to the who's man. The cream! A huge grin splits his face in an instant before his groans again. He digs his elbows deep into his seat. And it all took was a brain surgery. You're recovering from brain surgery? I certainly hope so. He points to his head. Although we completed the procedure a few days ago, too early to tell at this point. That's the real reason I'm so freaking scared, if I'm honest. I did this to myself. He gestures towards his current state. Designed a new kind of brain implant, one that can assess everything. The unlimited learning potential of the MetaWeb, a mind gate between the brain and the cloud. You put a computer in your head? No, Yes, more or less. A chip at least. I'm always connected now. You make a turn and see the light of the conference center. Problem is... He dips into silence for a second. Have you ever felt like... I don't know. You hear his teeth clinking, like he's weighing something up. Have you ever felt there's something else in the darkness behind your eyes? Your voice telling you what to do? Sometimes. The night would aid. The one very specific minute. How it felt like you were just gonna go through all the motions while someone else was at the wheel. Telling her to call the cops. Telling her to lock herself up in the bathroom. Telling her to follow your lead. Sometimes instinct takes over. Guides our hands. Instinct, right? It's just that since I started hearing, started seeing, he leans forward and his hood folds down from his face. I don't think I'm alone in here anymore. A jagged track mark of the scar winds across his hairline, but his eyes that really scare you. One is completely dark, pupil blown. The other is milky white. Wow. The figure unfastens itself and exits in one fluid movement. You watch it disappear into the crowd before turning the key and driving away. Okay. Turn is Francois Delanier. You immediately recognize the next passenger getting in a taxi. You never watch television, rarely listen to the radio, you don't read newspaper, and yet you know Francois Delanier's face. Polemicist, novelist, columnist, politician too, you think. Your passenger distractedly gives you his address. You start driving. Are you bothered by all these protest marches? This question washes over you. You forgot that during the day, people were holding protests. I work nights. Ah. He doesn't know how to follow up. A moment goes by before he yelps. Ah, see? There's not much chance they come to protest at 3 a.m., eh? It's not really surprising, actually. They want to make a change, but only when it's convenient. Not during vacations, not on weekends, not at night. They make fun of us in other countries. France, the land of strikes, the land of protest marches. The country is filled with hammers, slackers, and simpletons. But they protest nonetheless. What do you mean by that? I mean, they take the bus or the train specifically to protest. Well, yes, they certainly do like to protest. Actually, most of the people on strike just stay home and don't work. Before you can gain the slightest word in edgewise, he starts in again. Take the United States, for example. They have no right to strike. It's do or die. Spit flies from his mouth and disappears somewhere in the backseat. Oh. And they didn't become the most powerful country in the world by going on strike all the time. He snickers. His notebook appears in his hand and he begins to write. Strike, protest, unrest. While businessmen and manufacturers are working around the clock, French people should be ashamed. Take a look in the mirror and decide to change, do something. They expect too much from life. They want to have their cake and eat it too, and bite off more than they could chew. He catches his breath. Frost begins to form at the corners of his mouth. And meanwhile, the world keeps turning, while the strikers twiddle their thumbs and workers are working. No, struggling to get the job done. That's better. Idiotic protest marches. The Frenchest thing and the stupidest. We have to look in the masses in the eyes and say, you do not own the streets. You do not wield them like weapons. He suddenly raises his eyes and looks at you. They are unfocused and his complexion deathly pale. Are you okay? Your passenger gazes wanders somewhere behind the wheel shield. I just remember that I once marched. It just came back to me like an old childhood memory. I could see it clearly, from Versailles to Paris. I can picture the banners, the songs, the people's faces. There were so many of us. We got up at dawn, thousands of us, and we marched toward the capital. Our pure, wholesome voices rose up. His voice shakes a bit. What were you marching for? It was a cry from the heart of the right, quality religious education, while France was being crushed by the weight of socialism. We were being ideologically purged, completely decimated. It was the end of the parochial schools, the end of our culture as we knew it. His voice trembles. Did you win? Yes, we won. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna remain silent. The passenger slowly sinks into a strange funk. He remains that way for the rest of the ride, until you reach his destination. He sighs contentedly as you pull the taxi up along the sidewalk. Those were the days. It was a great time. The left was running the country. He leans in towards you. Like he was about to tell you a secret with a smirk on his face. And I mean the real left, eh? He pays and gets out of the car. You can hear him talking to himself as he walks towards the front door of the building. What a lovely night. Good luck to you tomorrow. With all these protest marches, it's going to be a real messy one. He's gone before you have time to remind yourself. Work during the night. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. Your last passenger must have left it behind, or the one before. You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. You start driving. Okay. No tip. Okay. Okay. Is that a dog? Something? Okay. I want to pick you up. I don't know where you are, but I want to pick you up. You look like a doggy. It is a cat? Croaky. How is it gonna pay? Maybe it's not. Just like her if it's supposed to pay. You pull up to the sidewalk and wait for your passenger. It looks like a no-show. You get out of the cab after a minute or two to smoke a cigarette. There's not much going on in the small town in the suburbs. There are a few apartments that still have lights on. A sweet scent hangs in the air. Eventually, you stub out your cigarette and get back into the car. Oh! How cute! You jump, startled. A cat has managed to slip into the cab. Okay, it's a cat. It's sitting on the back seat, staring at you intently. You sit there for a moment, considering whether or not to shoo it away. But just as you're about to wave your hand, the cat shifts position and slips a paper falls from its collar. Pick up the paper. You pick up the piece of paper and unfold it. A fragment of the map of Paris, a Saint-Lazare train station.
You turn your eyes slowly to the cat. He seems to be expecting an answer.
Are you going somewhere?
The cat tilts its head to the side as if it's to say yes.
You want to go to Saint Lazare?
The cat tilts its head again.
Are you a dog?
The cat slowly nods its head no. Your hand clutches the wheels tightly.
What the hell's going on?
You turn around to face the cat.
Okay, fine, I'll take you.
You let out a sigh.
Okay, fine.
You start talking to yourself in low tones as if to balance the conversation.
Normal. This is all perfectly normal.
You start the cab, but cast a glance at the cat behind you.
You're the one who ordered the cab?
You start to laugh. A few minutes go by. You try to break the ice. Simple questions are probably best.
Everything okay?
Neither a yes or a no. More of a plaintive meow. Okay.
Are you running away from someone?
The cat lets out a long plaintive meow.
Another cat? Your owner?
Again, a long melancholic meow. You nod your head.
What happened? Was it a man?
No answer.
A woman? Was she mean to you?
The cat seems to be uncertain.
She was not around for you?
The cat doesn't seem to understand.
For instance, your owner is never home. You're bored. You just want to spend more time playing.
If cats could roll their eyes, he would have.
She's overly affectionate?
The cat lets out a string of instant meows.
Touche. That's it. She's too affectionate. And that's why you're running away?
The cat is watching you with a steady eye. You are sure you're on the right track.
You have to be careful with people like that. They suffocate you before you even know it.
You nod your head.
But you ran away. I meet lots of people like you.
You stop short.
But you're just a cat.
You roll your eyes. Behind you, the cat lets out a quiet, reassuring meow.
Go on. What I mean is, well, we don't even know we are in a cage. We prefer not to think about it. We are never fully aware of it.
You look at the cat.
I must be crazy. I'm talking to a... You shake your head.
You point to a light in the distance.
That's Saint Lazare. We'll be there soon.
A few yards later, you stop at the drop-off area in front of the station.
The first train doesn't leave for another hour. Where are you going?
The cat stares at you without making a noise.
Let me guess. Saint Lazare. If you were going to the suburbs of Paris, you wouldn't have needed to come into town. So somewhere in the northwest of France. Brittany?
Passenger glares at you.
Okay, right, not prison.
The cat lets out a choppy meow. He wants to get out.
Go on. Somewhere by the sea, huh?
The cat is looking around and meows. A sharp sound. Probably a yes. A very hungry yes.
For the fish, I guess?
You check time on the dashboard. It's time to go to get a real customer. You try not to think too much about the situation you're in, and you hope that no one sees you talking to a cat. I want to talk some more to the cat.
I'll just start saying the names of cities and you meow when I hit the right one.
You start to list cities in Normandy. The cat doesn't move a muscle.
Cherbourg.
The cat looks up.
So is Cherbourg. Get it close. Saint Milau?
Still nothing.
I got it. Deauville.
Meow of delight. You're smiling too. All of a sudden you're exhausted.
Okay, come on. Time to say goodbye.
You get out of the cab and open the back door. A bill has appeared on the seat next to the cat. It is enough for the fare, and more.
Well, you're full of surprises, aren't you? I wouldn't ask you where it came from.
You smile and lean over to pet the cat. It leaps out of the car and darts between your legs. You can just make out its shape dashing up a flight of stairs and flipping between the bars of a gate. You get back in the car. Hey, got achievement. You look at yourself in the rearview mirror. Your features are heavy with fatigue. Your right eyelid is twitching. As you start the car, you remember you were allergic to cats, but you haven't sneezed once. You pull out of the station. You gave an 8-cent tip. Wow. Okay. Go to get some gas. Gotta get some gas. You pull over and stop at a gas station. Not a soul in sight. The fluorescent lights irritate your eyes, and the smell of pee is wafting up in the space in between the pumps. It's self-service here. You pay directly at the pump. The mini-mart over there, it must sell newspapers. The person behind the counter must see and hear things. Might be worth asking a couple questions. This place is as shady as ever. You're careful getting out of the cab. Fill the tank. I'm gonna keep filling. Keep filling. Go to 15. Okay. For now, I guess that's good. I don't know. Go to 50. Okay. What else can I do? Go back in the cab. I'm gonna go to the shop. You walk into the mini-mart. There's a smell coming off the guy running the shop at the station. Hot dogs? Can I help you? Newspaper. Gosh. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Are these scratch-offs? Are these scratch-offs? Buddy. Can't win them all. Oh wow, okay. Talk with the clerk. Have you read the papers? He's all they're talking about. Just an offhand comment casually brought up about the serial killer. The guy behind the counter seems like he's interested in the case. Okay. I got a newspaper ready, so I'm not gonna get that. Not, I guess. You nod and exit the shop. Alright, let's go. You get in your taxi and drive away. I'm gonna finish this night and then I'm gonna turn it off. You. Because I don't know what you are. And you look interesting. Wait. Never mind, you. You. Got you another time.
Oh, it's you again, Fragonard. Okay. You recognize the next passenger getting near cab. A cop. The detective. You're a suspect. He has a tired look about him, and not just because it's early. His voice drags. The usual place. St. Louis Hospital, then. You start driving. He yawns. Sorry, I didn't sleep a wink. Work? No, not at all. I'm not so just can't sleep. Not really insomnia. It's like I'm waiting for someone to come home. Like I had a son or daughter telling me, I swear Dad, I'll be home by midnight. But at 3 p.m., they're still not home. He looks out his window. Dawn has not broken over Paris. Clears his throat. I think it comes from the mother of murder victims on one of my old cases. An investigation from a few years ago. He pauses. Your taxi purrs like a cat after a good meal. I ran into her at the steps of the courthouse just before the trial, as she told me. She told me. He closes his eyes, concentrates. The hardest part is hearing a noise in the hallway and knowing can be her coming home. The hardest part is knowing she'll never come home again. He slowly sighs. They dispatched me to the parking lot where the body of a young woman was found. She'd been raped and her throat was slit. It was the work of a monster, a wild beast. He raises his hand and he wants to interrupt himself. I honestly think every man has it in him, you know. It's in our instinct, carved into our genes. I believe so too. She was 19 years old. You can hear the anger in his voice. 19. More anger. Just a kid. He gets back to his story. There was blood on the pavement. Little river of blood. The young woman was pops on the post. Her t-shirt pulled over her face. The son of a gun didn't even have balls to look her in the eye. Anger continues to make his voice bark from time to time. He's gone through her bag looking for spare change. All he found was some makeup and old check stubs. He found his fingerprints on the stubs. He used his thumb to fend through her expenses. At the time, I remember thinking what a shame it was to have brought all that stuff, only to die right after. But I know it's just my mind's way of keeping busy, to avoid the death in the face. When you're a cop and you get older, you learn to look everyone in the eye. It makes them more human, whether they're alive or dead, victims or criminals. He stops. Did you catch the killer? Yes, much later. We just started working with DNA, and we're still on shaky ground. We made mistakes, 5 victims in all. That's when I had to learn to look up people in the eye. Victims, I couldn't turn them into numbers. The evidence. It seemed crucial to inform the victim's parents of successes in our mistakes. And it was crucial to reduce the monsters as it was. An abused kid, forgotten and destroyed by the system. He got a life sentence. Good for him, but the system failed us. Failed the victims. When it comes to crime, there's no winner. You can see his hand shaking. He sees you looking. His old story still got to me. Years later. With a long pause. Your passenger seems out of breath. He sits up, squares his shoulders, and changes position. You're coming up to the hospital. System, we don't control it. Controls us. No more, no less. It decides whether we're born here or there. His fingers reach towards the skyline. It makes us grow up, Teaches us that women are fragile objects and men are violent animals. And up to the moment the system kills us, we try to break its rules. Park the taxi. Your passenger doesn't budge. Do you cry sometimes? Silence. He looks you in the eye. Yes. He looks off into the distance. Good. Good. I didn't learn how until it was too late. Well, it's natural. We're designed to evolve, to change, but only when Mother Nature makes us. He smiles briefly. Without saying another word, the old cop plays and gets out of the car. You watch him until he disappears into the hospital. You notice a newspaper in the back seat. Your passenger must have left it behind, or the one before. You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. 37 cents. Y'all being cheap these days. Make sure there's nobody important. No, don't seem so. I should probably even listen to the radio. Let me read the newspaper. Pull the newspaper out of your glove compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually something grabs your eye. Okay then. Listen to the radio. Your finger is poised in the radio car, on the front of the car radio, trying to find something to listen to. We're gonna listen to the news. You happen upon the Lifetime news. In a vox pop about the judge, a bystander brings up the fact that the police have still not arrested the homeless man seen near the crime scene. You raise an eyebrow at this bit of news. You didn't know that. As soon as the news is over, you turn the radio off so that the cab is silent again. Herb is near the crime scene. Well, I think we knew that, no? This person seems distressed. This don't even look like a person. I'm gonna go with you, because you look distressed. You feel a yawn moving up your body. You stop it from coming out. Kiara Yamane, I need help with the delivery. The passenger who sits in the backseat is one of the hordes of cyclists you almost always hit in red lights. She's a bike carrier, the kind who pays no attention to red lights. Stop signs are right away. She gives you a smile. Holy crap, it's flipping freezing out. You smile. Do we know each other from somewhere? I don't think so.
I probably just cut you off on my bike or something. Or maybe
it was me. Maybe I changed lanes without signaling.
You both burst out laughing. She gives you an address. It's for a delivery, but it's too cold. I can't seem to get warm. You start the cab and turn the heat on high. Warm air fills the car. The young woman nods. Thanks. That's exactly what I'm here for. She closes her eyes as if to enjoy the muffled hum of the heater. I hope you don't mind. There was no way I was gonna get back on my bike. I left it behind with my colleagues in front of the restaurant. She sighs. I know it's pretty counterproductive, paying for a cab ride to deliver food, but I just... all the warm air, it feels good.
How's work going?
The young woman is struggling to stay awake. Pretty good, though I had a run-in with one of my colleagues tonight. She falters. He's a real know-it-all. The kind of guy who thinks he's been there and done that. The work itself is pretty good, though. In the winter, we do lots of business. People stay holed up at home like rabbits. I have to say, I understand them. She yawns. I'm warming up, but I sure am tired all of a sudden. She closes her eyes.
Sorry, we're already here.
You pull up to the address. Right. Back to work. The delivery girl quickly exits the cab, slamming the door behind her. She rings the door of an elegant Parisian building. A moment later, the door cracks open. The carrier hands a client a plastic bag with takeout container containers inside. She smiles. The door shuts. She rushes over the cab and flings herself into the back seat. Come on, let's get out of here, fast! Start the cab. Back to the restaurant, please. I left my bike there. Well, that's that. Her phone chirps. Business is picking up. She sighs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait a little. Check it later. She settles comfortably into the back seat and closes her eyes.
What are you delivering?
Sushi. It's so not sushi this time of year. But Parisians are crazy about sushi. Though not exactly the kind we eat at home. She bursts out laughing. Nah, I shouldn't complain, really. At least I can take it easy on my bike. There's no one to really mess around with me. She lets out a silvery laugh, very soothing tone. Laugh someone you can trust.
Do you really like what you do?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Sure. We don't earn much and the job is really exhausting, but first of all, I have a killer butt. My dates can't believe it. Guys are really crazy about it. All my girlfriends want to know my secret. Basically, it's a win-win situation. But second, and this is what I really love, is I'm my own boss. A faint smile spreads across her face. Well, I do have a boss, actually. My telephone. It's an algorithm. Some guys call me every now and then, ask me questions, ask me to take on more shifts. But he doesn't grab my butt. He doesn't waylay me in the corridor. He doesn't ask me to be a good little girl and go pick up a sandwich. And that makes it all worthwhile. She looks serious, as if she just concluded a long speech. So that, my friend, is why I wouldn't trade my bike for all the world.
Any prospects for the future?
No, you're right. Nah, not much as far as prospects go. Not like I'm gonna be made a team manager or anything. That's for sure. But it's not all that bad. There are worse jobs around. Silence. And I know that what you're going to say. I'm being exploited. Badly paid. All that. But the worst part is actually the customers. You look at her in surprise. No, I swear it's true. You deliver their dinner because they're worn out after working all day, and they don't even tip you a single euro. Still, they're understanding and all that. They give me articles about having a big bad delivery businesses abusing us. And then they order sushi from the restaurant down the street. Never trust a stomach. She makes a little farting sound with her mouth. Believe me, a bunch of cheapskates. She stops you with a gesture before you can speak. But all that, just a time being, promise. I'm putting a little aside, like my father always said. I'm going to open a takoyaki food truck. Have you ever had takoyaki? Girl, you could live with me and make me takoyaki all day long. Oh, takoyaki, my favorite. You pull up to the restaurant. A swarm of bike carriers are waiting for their orders.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I wanted to be the latest thing. It's basically a simple idea. Some of the people lined up concrete, movies, plays. We need a takoyaki truck everywhere. She smiles. Anyhow, I'm out of here. There are a lot of starving people in Paris, and we don't want to let them down. She hands you the fare and exits the cab. Thanks again, really. You're good company. If you ever need a shortcut, just ask. She gives you a last smile and she walks over to her crew. I ain't even mad about the tip. Okay. You met Meliquire. You met Francois. You met Kuroki. using money. You make you told Croaky to St. Lazare Station. Frank and I told you about a serial killer. You do cry sometimes. You have met Chiara. Okay, sit. You open your front door and your foot hits something. An envelope. Someone slid it under the door. Buffet? You open it straight away. It's a police file. You lay it on the table. It must free you from your passenger, the whistleblower. You smiled. He kept his word. You take a few minutes to update your board with new clues. A bus goes by, making the walls shake. You crack your knuckles and get to work. Okay, let's look at the board. Okay, so now we know he... What was that again? Okay, Salam. I don't think I've met Perot yet. I know Salam. Glad it's not him. Because I was starting to like him. Even though I saw him once. Okay. Okay. You're everybody. You're everybody. You're not everybody. But we'll leave you here. Is this still just you? Let's see. Good, 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 good. Alright. And I'm just gonna leave it like, hold on, can yeah. Right, let me look at the Passadex real quick. Oh, it's not gonna show up, I guess. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. That was Night Call. I should be playing this again. I'm gonna try to play some more tomorrow. Not sure how many more nights there are, how much longer I have till I beat the game. So, I'll try and beat it tomorrow, if possible. I didn't think I was gonna be on for over 3 hours today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a nice day. Hope to see you again soon. So, goodbye.